Be me, 33, journalist for online publication. Focus on women's issues and gender politics. Write about dating, relationships, modern feminism. Good at my job. Articles get shared thousands of times. Build career on calling out male behavior. Dating apps are toxic. Men don't commit. Men are afraid of strong women. All the usual topics. Recently assigned new piece. Editor wants deep dive on marriage decline statistics. Specifically why men aren't marrying. Perfect assignment. Already know the answer. Men are commitment phobic. Afraid of equality. Want benefits without responsibility. Tale as old as time. Start research with bias confirmed. Look at statistics. Marriage rates down 60% since 1970. Men initiating marriage proposals way down. More men choosing to stay single. Obviously their fault. Obviously their weakness. Obviously their fear. Begin interviews. Set up calls with relationship experts, therapists, sociologists, dating coaches. All confirm my hypothesis. Men have Peter Pan syndrome. Refuse to grow up. Want girlfriend benefits. Without husband responsibilities. Perfect narrative. Easy article. Validates everything I believe. But editor pushes back. Interview actual men. Get their perspective. Make it balanced. Roll my eyes. Fine. Balance. Even though I know what they'll say. Excuses. Justifications. Blame women somehow. Post on social media. Looking for men who've chosen not to marry. Willing to be interviewed. For article. Get dozens of responses. Most are angry. Ranting about women. About feminism. About society. Delete those immediately. Not giving platform to misogyny. One response is different. Calm, measured, professional. Guy named Alex. 35. Works in IT security. Never married. No kids. Open to honest conversation. Set a video call. Expect typical tech bro. Probably lives with mom. Probably bitter about rejection. Probably blames women for everything. Video connects. He's normal looking. Clean apartment in background. Professional. Polite. Thanks for talking to me. Start with pleasantries. No problem. Happy to share perspective. So why aren't you married? Get straight to point. He thinks for a moment. Because the cost-benefit doesn't make sense. Typical. Reducing relationships to economics. Can you elaborate? Sure. What do I gain from marriage that I don't already have? List off obvious things. Companionship, partnership, love. Can have those without marriage. I have girlfriend. We've been together for years. Very happy. So why not marry her? Why should I? Getting frustrated. He's being deliberately obtuse. Commitment. Showing you're serious. I am serious. I'm monogamous, faithful, present. I support her career. Help with bills. Plan future together. Just without legal contract. Pause. What does marriage add? Accept risk. There it is. The fear. What risk? Ask pointedly. Divorce risk. If it doesn't work out, I lose half my assets. Maybe more. Pay alimony. Possibly for life. While she keeps her career, her assets, her future. He's calm. Matter of fact. Not angry. Just calculating. You're assuming divorce. I'm planning for reality. 50% of marriages end in divorce. 70% initiated by women. Courts favor women in settlements. These are just facts, not assumptions. Want to argue, but he's right. Those are the statistics. So you don't trust women? I don't trust the system. There's a difference. Interesting distinction. Explain. I love my girlfriend. Trust her completely. But love doesn't override law. Feelings change. People change. The contract remains. He leans forward. Let me ask you something. Would you sign contract that gives other party power to take half your stuff, claim your future earnings, with no fault required, just because they're unhappy? Think about it. Honestly, probably not. Exactly. So why would I? Good point. Annoying, but good. What about kids? Change subject. Don't want them. Neither does my girlfriend. But if you did, then the calculation changes completely. He's thought this through. Really thought it through. How so? Marriage makes sense for kids. Stability, legal protection, inheritance. But without kids, it's just risk for romantic ceremony and tax benefits that don't offset the downside. Cannot believe how clinical he is. About love. About partnership. This is so unromantic. Say before I can stop myself. He laughs. Not meanly. Just genuinely amused. Romance and legal contracts are different things. I'm very romantic with girlfriend. Take her on dates. Surprise her with gifts. Tell her I love her daily. Just won't sign legal document. That puts me at financial risk. Makes sense. Hate that it makes sense. What does your girlfriend think? She agrees. Really? Yes. She's seen her friends divorce. Lose years in custody battles. Deal with vindictive exes. She doesn't want that either. This isn't fitting narrative at all. Do you think you're typical of men your age? Very typical. All my male friends feel same way. Most aren't married. Those who are kind of regret it. Now he sounds bitter. Finally, why do they regret it? Because marriage changed dynamic. When girlfriend becomes wife, expectations change. Pressure increases. Freedom decreases. He shrugs. They describe feeling trapped, like they signed contract they didn't fully understand. Interview more men over next week. Each one similar story. Different details. Same conclusion. Marriage is bad deal for men. Legally, financially, emotionally. All cite divorce statistics. All know someone destroyed by divorce. All chose to opt out. Not from relationships, just from legal contract. One guy, Michael, 38, tells particularly stark story. My dad was great husband, provided everything. Mom decided she wasn't happy. Divorced him after 20 years. Took house, cars, half his retirement. He still pays alimony. While she lives with new boyfriend. In his house. That he's still paying for. Pauses. Why would I volunteer for that? Another guy, James, 31. My brother got married at 25. Has 2 kids. Wife decided to be stay-at-home mom. Fine, his choice to support that. Now she's filing for divorce. Will get kids most of the time. House. Child support that covers her lifestyle. Plus alimony. While he lives in studio apartment. Sees his kids every other weekend. Shakes his head. He did everything right. Still lost everything. Try to push back. These are cherry-picked examples. Not all marriages end badly. No. James agrees. But enough do. And when they do, men lose. Almost always. Why gamble? Statistics support their claims. 78% of custody goes to mothers. 97% of alimony recipients are women. Men pay average 65% more in divorce. Even in no-fault states. Even with equal careers. System is demonstrably imbalanced. Interview another man. Carlos, 42. Divorced twice. First marriage was young love. Thought we'd make it. She cheated. I filed for divorce. Still had to pay her. Because she made less. Even though she broke vows. Take sip of coffee. Second marriage was different. Older, wiser. We had prenup. Thought I was protected. Laughs bitterly. Judge threw it out. Said it was signed under duress. She signed it 3 months before wedding. With her own lawyer present. Still didn't matter. Shakes head. Lost everything again. Now I just date. Never again will I marry. These stories piling up. Starting to see pattern. Not what I expected. Not what I wanted. But undeniable. Bring concerns to my editor. This isn't the story we wanted. She says, what did you find? Men have legitimate concerns. About legal risks. About system imbalance. About incentive structure. She frowns. We need peace about male commitment issues. Not defense of men. But this is what I found. This is the truth. Find different truth. Realize then, she wants narrative, not facts. Wants confirmation, not investigation. Wants bias, not journalism. Feels sick. This is what I've been doing my whole career. Finding truth that fits. Ignoring truth that doesn't. Go back to interviews. Looking for men who fit narrative. Commitment phobes. Immature guys. Misogynists. They exist, but they're minority. Most men I interview are thoughtful, are cautious, are protecting themselves from system that punishes them. Meet with Tom, 29, software developer, has girlfriend of 2 years. I love her, want to spend life with her, but marriage terrifies me. Why? My best friend got married last year. 6 months later, wife accused him of abuse. No evidence, no proof, just her word. Tom's eyes water. He lost his kids, lost his house, lost his reputation, all based on accusation. Later, she admitted she lied, was just angry about argument, wanted leverage in divorce. Pause. By then it was too late. Damage was done. He can't see his kids, can't get his job back, can't rebuild his life. Looks at me directly. Why would I risk that when staying unmarried gives me same relationship without the legal liability? Can't argue with that. Can't dismiss it. Can't ignore it. Interview women too. For balance. Many are frustrated. Men won't commit. Men are afraid. Men are weak. But when I ask specifics, details emerge. I want wedding. Want ring. Want status. Want security. What are you offering in return? What do you mean? What does he get? For marriage. Love. Partnership. He has that now. What changes with marriage? He commits. He's already committed. What else? Usually silence. Or anger. Why does he need to get something? Why isn't love enough? Because love isn't contract. Marriage is. Contracts require consideration. Both parties must gain. One woman, Jennifer, 35, is more honest than most. I want financial security. If it doesn't work out, I want to know I'm protected. Fair enough. What about him? What about him? What's his protection? If it doesn't work out, she thinks, really thinks. I don't know. I never thought about it. Exactly. Nobody thinks about it. System assumes women need protection. Assumes men don't. Assumes men are always advantaged. Always privileged. Always fine. But they're not. They're vulnerable too. Just in different ways. Ways nobody talks about. Ways nobody acknowledges. Start examining my own beliefs. Why do I think marriage is important? What do I think it provides? For women, security, commitment, validation. For men, what exactly? More responsibility, more expectations, more risk. Same relationship, just legally binding, plus potential for catastrophic loss. If it ends, talk to Alex again. Follow-up interview. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you love your girlfriend? Absolutely. Would you die for her? Yes. Would you give her kidney if she needed it? Without hesitation. But you won't marry her. Correct. Why? He thinks carefully. Because love is about choice. Every day, I choose her. Every day, she chooses me. Marriage removes choice. Makes it obligation. Makes it legal requirement. Pauses. I want to be with her. Because I want to be. Not because court says I have to. Not because leaving cost me everything. That's not love. That's contract enforcement. Never thought of it that way. Always assumed marriage strengthened commitment. But does it? Or does it just add penalties for leaving? Penalties that fall heavier on men than on women. What if she wants marriage? Ask. We discuss it. Like adults. Understand each other's concerns. Find compromise. He smiles. She wore white dress last year. Had ceremony with friends. Exchanged rings. Made promises. Just didn't sign legal paperwork. Had wedding without marriage. Exactly. Got romance without risk. Mind is shifting. Perspective changing. Not comfortable, but honest. Spend next week. Deep in research. Academic papers. Legal analysis. Economic studies. Everything points same direction. Marriage is economically disadvantageous for men, especially higher-earning men. Risk-reward is imbalanced. Incentive structure is broken. Find study from 2023. Men who never marry live longer than married men, have better mental health, report higher life satisfaction. Opposite of what we're told. Opposite of what I believed. Find another study about life expectancy post-divorce. Divorced men die 8 to 10 years earlier than men who stay married. From stress, from isolation, from depression, from suicide. Numbers are stark. Numbers are clear. Numbers don't lie. Write first draft. Honest piece. Explaining male perspective. Backed by data. Balanced with empathy. Show both sides. Editor reads it. Calls me immediately. This isn't what we want. This is what I found. Rewrite it. Make men the problem. But they're not the problem. System is the problem. Our readers won't like this. Our readers deserve truth. She's quiet. Then, you're too close to this. Take a week off. We'll assign to someone else. Get taken off my own story. For being objective. For following facts. For doing journalism. Actually doing my job. For first time in years. Sit with this. With everything I've learned. About marriage. About men. About my own bias. About my own dishonesty. Call my mom. Ask about her marriage. Why did you marry Dad? I loved him. But why marriage specifically? She thinks. A long pause. Security. Validation. It's what you did back then. What about Dad? What did he get? Another long pause. Responsibility for family. Expectations to provide. Stress of being breadwinner. Never complaining. Never showing weakness. Pause. Honestly looking back. Think he got the worst deal. Mom never said that before. Never admitted that. He worked himself to death. Literally. Heart attack at 58. Trying to provide. To meet expectations. To be good husband. Good father. Good man. She's crying now. Really crying. I loved him. But system killed him. Pressure killed him. Expectations killed him. The need to be strong. To never fail. To always provide. Sobbing. I took him for granted. We all did. Society did. And he died for it. Sit with this revelation. Dad died being good husband. Meeting obligations. Fulfilling contract. Never complaining. Never asking for help. Never admitting struggle. Until heart gave out. Would he have lived longer? Less stressed. Without marriage pressure. Without provider burden. Without constant expectations. Probably. Almost certainly. Interview more men. Older men. Divorced men. Widowed men. Hear their stories. Really hear them. For first time, guy named Robert, 52. Married, 25 years. Divorced 3 years ago. I gave everything. Worked 60-hour weeks. Paid for everything. House, cars, kids' college. Vacations, lifestyle. Everything she wanted. Sacrificed my health. My dreams. My life. His voice breaks. She left anyway. For her yoga instructor. Said I was never there. Never present. Never emotionally available. Pause. I was working. To pay for everything. To provide everything. That she wanted. Tears now. I lost house. Pay alimony. Barely see my kids. They think I abandoned them. Because that's what she tells them. Looks at me. Dead eyes. And legally. I can't defend myself. Can't tell my side. Can't fight back. Just pay and disappear. That's what marriage got me. These stories everywhere. Once I start looking. Once I stop dismissing them. As male whining. As men's rights nonsense. As misogyny. They're just pain. Just hurt. Just people. Who trusted system. And got destroyed. Who did everything right. And still lost. Who loved completely. And ended up broken. Interview David, 44. Never married. Successful architect. I watched my uncle. Happily married for 30 years. 3 kids, grandkids. Good man, good husband. Then wife got Alzheimer's. David's voice shakes. He took care of her. for years. Quit his job, spent all savings on her care, never complained. Pause. She didn't recognize him for the last 5 years, but he stayed because that's what marriage meant, in sickness and health. He looks at me. Then she died. He was 65, broke, alone, exhausted. Pause. And everyone said, that's what good husbands do. Like his sacrifice was expected, was required, was beautiful. Shakes head. I don't think it was beautiful. I think it was tragic. I think marriage trapped him. An obligation. That destroyed him. These perspectives, these stories, these truths. Never considered before. Never wanted to consider. But can't ignore now. Right article. Real article. Honest article. About why men are opting out. Not because they're weak. Not because they're afraid of commitment. Not because they're immature. Because they're rational. Because they're protecting themselves. Because the system is broken. Because marriage is raw deal. For many men. Submit to editor. She rejects it. Immediately. Doesn't even read whole thing. Assigns to someone else. Male writer. Ironically, who writes hit piece about male immaturity, about commitment phobia, about fear of strong women, about man-children, about Peter Pan syndrome. Everything I would have written a month ago, before I knew better, before I listened, before I learned. Article published. Gets thousands of shares. All my usual followers love it. All validate bias. All confirm beliefs. All wrong. Comment on article. With my findings. With real data. With actual research. Get attacked immediately. Internalized misogyny. Pick-me behavior. Traitor to women. Handmaiden to patriarchy. Former allies turn on me. For telling truth. For following facts. For being journalist. For doing my job. Get called every name. Get threatened. Get doxxed. Get harassed. For being honest. Quit job. Can't work somewhere. That values narrative over truth. That wants propaganda. Not journalism. Start freelancing. Write piece for different publication. Smaller audience. But editorial freedom. Actually editorial freedom. Tell real story. About marriage decline. About male perspective. About system failure. About broken incentives. Gets published. Response is mixed. Women hate it. Call me traitor. Traitor to my gender. Traitor to feminism. Traitor to movement. Men appreciate it. Thank me for listening. For being fair. For being honest. First time in career. Men are thanking me. For my work. Feels significant. Feels important. Alex emails me. After reading piece. Thank you. For being honest. For actually listening. For changing your mind. That takes courage. We meet for coffee. Talk about response. About backlash. About truth. About cost of honesty. You lost friends over this. He observes. Yeah. Lost job too. Lost platform. Lost community. Was it worth it? Think about it. Really think. Yeah. Why? Because I was wrong. And being wrong, but unwilling to admit it, is worse than any backlash. Worse than any loss. He nods. Understanding. That takes courage. Or stupidity. We laugh. Real laugh. First time in weeks. Keep talking. About journalism. About truth. About marriage. About relationships. About life. He's interesting. Really interesting. Smart, thoughtful, honest. Principled. Courageous in his own way. Not what I expected. When I started this. Not at all. Months pass. Career is different. Smaller platform. Less reach. Less money. But more honest. More real. More meaningful. More true. Still right about gender issues. But differently. With nuance. With empathy. With actual investigation. With both sides. Alex and I keep talking. Coffee becomes dinner. Dinner becomes regular thing. Talking becomes friendship. Friendship becomes something more. We're dating. Sort of. Not labeled. Just us. One evening. He asks, what changed your mind? About men. About marriage. About everything. The facts. The data. The honesty. Pause. And you, me, you were first one to treat me like journalist, not like opponent, to share truth, not talking points, to be human, not stereotype, to trust me with your story. He smiles. You were first one to listen, really listen, without judgment, without agenda, just curiosity, just honesty, just openness. Sit in comfortable silence. Different than before. Closer. More intimate. More real. Can I ask you something? Always. If I wanted to get married, hypothetically, would you? He thinks. Really thinks. Takes time. Depends. On what? On why you want it. If it's for security, for validation, for status, for what marriage represents, then no. Pauses. But if it's because you want to build something together as genuine partners with real equality, real shared responsibility, real mutual benefit, then maybe we could talk about it, figure it out together. Most honest answer.